The twin girls, named Irene and Amida, were both playing around the house when they entered the kitchen and met Busala looking scared, crying, and tried to take one pill like that. Irene shouted, "Auntie Busara, what are you trying to do just now? You want to kill your unborn baby? Ah, Auntie Busara, don't you ever try it, or else you will suffer the consequences. Your womb will be gone if you try that." Many years ago, in the lively village of Dodoma in Tanzania, there lived two cousin sisters named Masa and Busara. They both came from a very poor home. Masa's parents struggled to feed her and her two brothers. They didn't even school up to high school. They always stopped at the primary stage, and they couldn't further their education. They all ended up helping their parents in the farm and also in hawking on the streets of Dodoma. Masa, a beautiful young lady, was very intelligent, but conditions made her not further her education. Though she speaks very well, and when she speaks, you will never knew that this person standing there speaking so good didn't even attend the high school, talk more of the university. But despite not furthering her education, Masa would use the kerosene lamp every night to read before she sleeps. The same thing with Busara, her cousin sister. Beauty and intelligence runs in their family. Busara also was a very intelligent lady, and they both practically does a lot of things together. Busara and Masa always share their pain together. They share their joy together, especially when there is no food at their home and the suffering is actually unbearable for them. They would always confide in each other and comfort each other's cries. One fateful day, Masa finished hawking for her mother in the streets. Exhausted, she decided to return home. When she got home, she saw people standing in front of her home as if someone died. Masa became very scared. At first, she thought maybe someone she loves dearly died. But when she finally approached her front door, she saw her father kneeling down, and she saw one of the richest men in her village, Mr. Akida, sitting down and her father kneeling down. Her father was kneeling opposite the man. He was pleading, crying, and begging Mr. Akida. As Masa witnessed this scene, she asked her father what the problem was and why he is kneeling down in front of Mr. Akida. The father had to reprimand her to beat her elders. When she walked in, she saw elders sitting down. Why didn't she greet? He queried her and asked her, did he not do well in training her up to be very respectful, especially to her elders? Masa did not forget her home training. She was really angry. She was hot seeing her father on the floor, kneeling down, helpless, begging a man he is well older than. Masa had no choice than to turn to Mr. Akida and greeted him. She then had no choice than to apologize for ignoring Mr. Kida at first. Massa explained that she was really hurt and was sad seeing his father in such a condition. That was why she ignored him, that it wasn't intentional. Mr. Kida, sitting down, decided to smile and told Massa not to bother herself, that he has forgiven her, and asked her name. Massa replied with her name. Mr. Kida then complimented her that she's very beautiful, but Massa didn't bother replying or say anything to him. She remained quiet. Mr. Akida then asked Massa's father to make his choice of how he wants to repay his debt. It is either he marries his wife as his 10th wife. After all, she's still a very beautiful woman. Or his daughter here comes to work for him at his factory since he needs workers. And if the daughter comes to work for him, with time, she will be able to pay off his debt. Mr. Akida told Massa's father to make his choice and he should be fast about it because he has no time. Massa hearing this, her father is owing her, and if Mr. Akida takes away her mother, that will be very tragic. It could kill her father. Her father might have an heart attack. She decided to take the bull by the horn. She didn't even allow her father to make any decision. She jumped in and said to Mr. Akida, "I am ready, sir. I will work for you. Please, sir, don't involve my mother. My father won't survive this, and I don't want my siblings to be an orphan in such early age of their lives, including me too. But I'm willing. I will serve you. I will work for you. Anything you said I should do, I will do it. But please, do not involve my innocent mother into this." Massa boldly asked Mr. Akida how much her father is owing him. He replied. Massa then asked him how long she will be working and how much will he be deducting every month she works for him. Mr. Akida was impressed by the way she was talking so boldly. He then told her how much he will be deducting every single month once she follows him home and starts working. Massa then did the mathematics and she was shocked. She then asked Mr. Akida that she will be working every month for a whole 8 years. Ah, for what? Just to pay up a small debt? No, that is not possible. The loan is too small. The loan my father collected from you is too small for me to spend up to 8 years paying for it. Massa immediately disagreed instantly and told Mr. Akida she won't do it. She then gave her own conditions. She told Mr. Akida she can only do 5 years and he will have to bring a contract to be able to stand by his words. He will construct a contract by his lawyer and she will bring a lawyer too that will represent her. They would sign a contract so that he won't go back on his words 5 years later when she's done working her whole life for him. These two shocked Mr. Akida. He was really shocked. He was forced to ask Massa if she finished the university. Massa replied no and told him that her parents cannot afford to send her to the university. And even if her parents are very poor, and they can't afford to send her to the university, it does not mean she doesn't know her rights. She reads books and she knows whatever is happening in this country because she listened to news. She went further to tell Mr. Akida that she knows her right and no one will abuse it and she will protect it by all means. Even her family members, no one would dare to abuse their rights. That she, Massa, would fight for it, even if it was to be abused. Massa speaking so boldly and confidently in front of Mr. Akida made him a little bit unsure if he would allow Massa to come work for him because the little young lady is too smart for her age. Just then, Massa's father started to plead to Mr. Akida to let him come work for him instead of her daughter or his wife. But Mr. Akida refused. With that, he was forced to agree to Massa's terms and conditions. It didn't take up to 2 days. He drafted a contract that says Massa would work for him for 5 years so she could offset her father's loan. And afterwards, Mr. Akida brought the contract to Massa's house, and Massa also contacted a lawyer who went through the contract and gave her the consent that she could go ahead and sign the contract. Afterwards, Mr. Akida then asked Massa to go in and pack her things. They need to be going instantly. Massa immediately went inside, picked up her bags and left with Mr. Akida to his house. When they got there, Mr. Akida introduced her to other staffs working for him. Massa was confused because the employees doesn't look good at all. Some had bruises on their faces, some had deep cut injuries, and some were really looking unkempt. Mr. Akida then instructed them to take her inside her own room, update her on how the business works. One of the young girls named Farida helped Massa to her room, where she would be staying, and shows her how things are being done in the house. Farida then told Massa to sleep and rest because tomorrow the real work starts. By morning the next day, Massa was woken up with some noises from the house. When she woke up and walked out of her room, she saw Busara, her cousin sister, being dragged by force by Mr. Akida's men. Massa hid immediately and started to watch the drama to unfold. It turns out Busara's mother was working for Mr. Akida and she mistakenly spoiled something worth millions. To repay the money, Busara was now being forced to work for Mr. Akida so she can repay her mother's debt. After the whole exchange was made, fortunately for Busara, she was paired with her cousin Massa as roommates, where they met themselves. It was tears that started to flow like a river. They hugged each other. They promised to be there for each other and protect each other. Mr. Akida's business turns out to be salt business. He produces salt in big quantity and supplies to the market. He refines them and sells to the market. That was what others outside his house thought. But inside Mr. Akida's factory, the workers knew it was not actually salt he produces. Yes, salt is just a cover-up. But the day Massa and Busara started to work. They were forced to sign a document not to disclose or say anything they see inside the factory that they are about to go inside to go and work. They are to keep their mouth shut, do not communicate with anybody outside the facility, no matter what. No phone, no sort of communication must go on. Else, even if it's by mistake that you interacted with someone and somehow, their secret leak, the consequences is death. Busara and Massa wondered the kind of business that Mr. Akida is doing that is making them to sign this huge contract. And the documents were really plenty to be signed. They had no option. They are in already. They had to sign the document given to them. Afterwards, they started work. It was then Massa noticed that it was not actually salt that is being produced. It was drugs. They are always packaging. And they move those drugs out in thousands every blessed day. She wasn't comfortable. She wanted to talk and let the whole world knows that Mr. Akida is not truly who he says he is in front of people. But she couldn't do anything. She already signed a document and the consequences is really bad. Fortunately for her, Farida noticed her attitude on time and warned her not to even try anything stupid or else she will be shot on sight. Farida told her that even her room, they have cameras, hidden cameras are everywhere. In everyone's room, there are hidden cameras. Even in the bathroom where she bathes nakedly, there are plenty hidden cameras inside there. Farida warned Massa not to be stupid and just ruin her life just like that. She warned her to be very careful, do her work and mind her business. Farida also told her not to get too noticed. She shouldn't do I too know. If not, one of the Akida's men notice her, she will be in hot soup. They will start to molest her, or better, worse still, they will start to mistreat her. Farida warned her severally, but Massa, the Owasabi, I too know young lady, did not heed the girl's warning. She continued to do her Owasabi attitude of being unnecessarily outspoken when it's not supposed to be. Massa would talk on every issue that affects her, even when Farida is giving her sign to shut her mouth, but still, she wouldn't listen. And this made Akidi's men to start to notice her. And in no time, they started to maltreat her so badly. It started with one of them forcing himself on her. Massa would cry all night, pleading for mercy, but the young man refused to heed to her cries or her plead. Busara would always be there to console her all the time. In just 5 months of Massa working for Mr. Akida, she got pregnant by one of Mr. Akida's boys, who turns out to be Mr. Akida's son. When Mr. Akida found out that Massa was pregnant, he wanted to kill her instantly for ruining their document agreement. But when he heard that it was his own son that is responsible for Massa's pregnancy, he changed his mind and allowed Massa to live in his house. But he gave her so many conditions. She would continue to work so she would pay her father's debts regardless of her pregnancy. With some added punishment, Massa suffered with that pregnancy. She worked so hard. She got maltreated even more by Mr. Akida's son named Eric. He would make sure that Massa worked extra time. He made Massa's pregnancy a very terrible thing and a torture. Luckily for her, she survived. 9 months later, Massa gave birth and it turns out to be twins. Two girls. Despite that, Eric didn't stop maltreating her. He would beat her up in any slight misunderstanding and give her the beating of her life in any small mistake. Eric would punish her despite giving birth to his own children. He never cared. He drinks, he smokes, and he takes house drugs. He had no emotions where Massa was. 4.5 years later, Massa finally finished paying for her father's debt. She summoned Mr. Akida one fateful day. He granted her request. She then told him her decision to live with her daughters since she has fulfilled her own part of the deal, working for him for 5 years. And it is so unfortunate that it has been over 5 years already and she's still there. She needs her freedom despite everything she went through. She will still stick to her oath and not say a word to anybody of whatever she went through here or whatever she saw and witnessed while working for him. She also told Mr. Akida that she won't say a word about all the maltreatment she got, especially from his son Eric. Unfortunately for Massa, her parents does not even know she was pregnant, not more of giving birth to twins. Massa have not been able to see her parents in those 5 years that she left her home. But Mr. Akida refused Massa's request to leave. He reminded her that her pregnancy wasn't part of the agreement that they signed. So she breached that part of the agreement. But since she got pregnant, she will have to extend her stay for another 5 years. Massa was shocked. She reminded Mr. Akida that she signed a contract of 5 years. That was their agreement, and he should stick to it. Massa asked Mr. Akida why he's being so wicked. Your son, he raped me multiple times and he got me pregnant. That was not part of the agreement. You broke the agreement by letting your son to do this to me. Now, I am done upsetting my father's debt. It's been over 5 years already. Why are you refusing me from leaving? This is pure wickedness, Mr. Akida. You can't do this to me. Massa was so furious. She was so angry. She raised her voice at Mr. Akida, and that made her to receive a very hot slap from him. He reminded her that her twins is his blood and that he owns her and there is nothing she can do about it. After all, her parents are old and miserable and they have nothing. They are too poor to fight for her. So she should relax, take a cheap pill, because she won't be going anywhere anytime soon. And she won't be going anywhere with his grandchildren while he's still alive. Massa was so shocked and angry how Mr. Akida turned the tables, and now she won't be leaving despite not owing him anymore. Massa angrily walked away and entered her room. She cried so terribly. Farida came and consoled her. She told her to calm down, that she wanted to tell her this a long time ago, but she decided to keep her mouth shut. That even her that is there have served him for the 3 years minimum they agreed. But see her, she's still there, serving extra 2 years. Farida told Massa that after she finished serving, Mr. Akido refused her from leaving. She has to stay for another extra 2 years. And even the ones that tried to escape then, they were shot on sight. Let me tell you, my friend, Mr. Akida is a very powerful man. He is well connected. The worst about your situation now is that you went and got pregnant for that lunatic son of his called Eric. If not, you have higher chances of living because you even signed a contract. But I didn't sign any contract with him. Farida told Massa that her even giving birth for Eric is the worst decision she has ever made because she won't be going anywhere anytime soon, or else she will be shot on sight and her children will be taken care of by a nanny. Farida told her to tread very carefully and do not make mistakes that will cost her life. Meanwhile, Massa's twin children were busy playing. They were both named Irene and Amida. As they were playing around the house, they entered the kitchen and they met Busara looking scared, crying and trying to take one pill like that. Irene shouted, "Auntie Busara, what were you about to do just now? Ah, you want to kill your unborn child? Please oh, Auntie Busara, don't you ever try it. You will suffer the consequences. Your womb will be gone if you try that." Busara, who wanted to take a pill to help her flush out the pregnancy, was really scared hearing what those girls just said to her. She dropped it immediately she heard that she would lose her womb. She became really scared, but something else bothered her. How the twins knew that she's pregnant. She had never told anyone about her pregnancy, and no one in that house knew what she was passing through in the hands of those men. Then, how did these girls knew she is pregnant, and how did they even know that she wants to take a pill? She wondered and then turned to them and asked them how they knew she was about to take a pill that will help flush the child in her womb. How did the twins know about Busara's pregnancy, and will Busara heed to their warning about not removing that pregnancy? Let us find out in the final episode of the story.